Okay, welcome to Weekend Video. This is Enda here, bullwaves.org. If you like what I do, check out bullwaves.org, become a member, nightly Elliott wave analysis straight to your inbox. Okay, let's get on. What an interesting week this has been. Let's get into the FX market first, the dollar FX, and then we'll go through into the rest of the weeds. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all blessed. And stay to the end. I've got something interesting for you. Okay. This is the long-term count, the daily count in Eurodollar that I've been working with. And it's a series of 1-2 patterns to the upside. The action of late in the last couple of months just seems to reinforce that idea. The short-term action obviously is always up for grabs, but this wave 1 and expanded flat correction wave 2 is still the very real possibility here. And that's what I'm looking at on the short-term count. So you can see on the daily count, wave 2 is still in progress. Okay, here's the 4-hour count. The pattern lower in wave 2 has been developing, or sorry, wave C of 2 has been developing over the last few days, few weeks, few months. Wave C is a darn complex scenario here. For the moment, I'm still expecting a break of the wave A low, so that'll be about 113.90 somewhere there. So it'll be wave A down, wave B up to a new high, and wave C down to break to a new low. That'll be an expanded flat correction. Now, a running flat correction would allow wave C to finish above the wave A low, and that is the alternate count. But let's work with what we've got at the moment. I'm looking at this kind of wedge pattern down into wave C. So 3 down and 1, 3 up and 2, 3 down and 3, 3 up and 4, and 3 down and 5. So set of 5s and 3s. It looks like wave 4 may be complete. We were looking for 3 waves up this week. It seems like we're there. I don't exactly know whether that... Obviously, I don't. It's the future. I don't know the future. 3 waves down internally here within this C wave could be still a correction in wave C. So unless we break the wave B low, so that'd be a triangle wave B. Unless we break that wave below at 115, let's say 50, or 115.40, let's say. Unless we break that, or if we break that, then that would confirm wave A of 5 is underway. So at the moment, we're kind of at a turning phase, let's say a turning point within wave 5, or within wave 4, sorry, within wave C at the top of wave 4. So looking for confirmation down into wave 5. That's what I'm looking for today, most likely. Okay, so cable, it's still got that 1-2 pattern here. It's a running flat correction in cable, long-term count, and up into wave 3 is the main idea here. On the 4-hour count, you can see ABC seems to be complete. It looks like we have 3 waves down complete. Standard, well, not a standard correction, but it's a combination correction, a set of 3s. So 3 down in A, 3 up in B, and 3 down in C. Now this could develop further. I'm not completely unaware of that. This could develop forward. We could get a 5-wave pattern here. This could be, 1 running flat wave 2, wave 3 acceleration, some sort of 4th wave happening right now, and then down into wave 5. So the previous 4th wave lies at 127. That was a previous target. I was looking at 129.50, somewhere around 50% retracement. And we did get quite close to that at the recent wave C low. So we got to 130 flat. So, 50 pips off that, not too bad. The action so far is inconclusive. The short-term count, I'm still looking at this as a possible 4th wave with a turn down into wave 5 coming. You can see the alternate count there, that wave C is already in. So that 130.10 level, we'd look for another break of that, maybe a fall down to the bottom channel line there to complete a 5th wave. Now, the action late last night does suggest a possible turn. I'll get rid of that. The action last night does suggest a possible turn. That's an impulsive decline out of a 4th wave high. So I'm kind of between two stools. I don't really know just yet. We haven't broken that previous B wave internal low here. So if you give me that. If you got the B wave low about 130.80, if we break 130.80, I would be willing to suggest that wave 5 is underway. Unlike euro-dollar, this seems to be a standard pattern. So instead of the declining wedge, a set of threes, this seems to be a standard 5-wave pattern. So you look for wave 5 to fall down towards that bottom trend line again around 129, and that would hit the 50% retracement level of wave 1. So that's the idea there. Let's see how it goes. Here is dollar yen. Dollar yen looking for a longer term rally into wave 3 of wave 1. It's a convoluted pattern up in a wave 3 so far. So we've got a wave 1 and 2. It's a convoluted pattern all over, to be honest. We have a leading wedge in wave 1, expanding leading wedge in wave 1, even more, even more rare. And then we have a running flat wave 2. It's a compressed running flat, so that's wave B, doesn't run out above the wave A high, or wave 1 high. So again, even more rare. We have a standard 5-wave rally to begin wave 3. A big, long, drawn-out corrective mishmash here in wave 2. And then a rally in wave 3 of 3, which seems to be fitting the bill a little bit better, given the fact that we had an acceleration within there. So there was an acceleration to the upside, but that acceleration seems to have died off again. I'm looking for a wave 3 of 3 to push out above this upper channel line. So up, above 157, maybe 158, somewhere around there. And if you go to the hourly count, you can see that 158.70 level would be the 162% fib extension of wave 1. So, so far, it's been a relatively quiet step higher. There's been no, we haven't had the same acceleration that we had in wave 3. But it's been a relatively kind of quiet and unassuming rally in dollar yen. It's almost like nobody wants to believe it. But here we are. The price is moving higher. The internal, let's say, declines all seem to be corrective. You've got this corrective 3-wave decline that happened the other night. We looked for a tag of the lower channel line and then rally out of that. It seems to be, that is exactly what happened. And then that has become the 152.80 has become the short-term support for this rally in wave 5 of 3. Still looking for more in wave 5 of 3, to be honest. But we do have a small 5-wave pattern in here that could be the 5th wave complete. I'm not convinced yet, because the overnight action and yesterday's action seems to confirm more to come. But we'll see what happens today. This is the wave 1 high here at 150.90. If that breaks, then I'll have to rethink this pattern, I think. So that's a relatively hard kind of support level for this overall pattern. Okay, let's move on. Daily chart in the Dow. You can see how we're tagging that upper channel line here. This is the long-term chart. Covering the wave 2, previous wave 2 back in August 22, wave 4 low back in February 25 this year, the wave 3 high. So it's kind of a best fit channel for this larger 5th wave in red here. So we've got, the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 extension, wave 4, and wave 5. And we've got a series of tags of that upper channel line again. God knows I never wanted to see this high ever again. But here we are. I suppose it never ceases to amaze me how ingrained or how delusional the market can become, or people can become. But here we are, we're touching that upper trend channel line again, and we seem to have a series of rejections. Last week's decline was interesting. This week's decline might be even a little bit more interesting. If we go to the 4-hour count here, you can see that's the 5th wave rally within wave 5. Series of 1-2s to begin. Third wave extension. 4th wave expanded flat. 5th wave expanded triangle to complete this rally. Wave 5, again, we've tagged that upper trend channel line within wave 5 twice, and we've declined twice. Here we're at the, on the 4-hour count, we're sitting right now at the 50 period MA on the 4-hour count. So again, I think I mentioned the last time, the previous corrections were all held by that 200 MA. You know, we had a slice down through and then a rally back above, slice down through, rally back above. The decline last week, it basically only tagged the 50 MA and came right back up. So, what do we want to see on the 4 account? We want to see a break of that level. I want to see a slice down through that 50 MA, break down below the channel, even a break down below this lower fourth wave here. That would, and the previous fourth wave at 43.30, the internal fourth wave of wave 5 at 45.180. So they're the interesting levels. That 167 here on the hourly chart. So that previous fourth wave is the first port of call for any impulsive decline. So we'll see if we get there. Okay, let's move on. Crude oil. No, this is gold. We still have a lower high in gold, given that we had an extended rally, let's say, in the last week. I still believe that this is in the territory of a correction. You can see that we have turned down impulsively, rallied in 3 waves so far, and then we've turned down again. So I would imagine on the 4-hour count here, if we break down again just below that 200 MA line, we just came in to touch it on this initial wave 1 decline. So if we break down below, let's say 4,000 again, that'll be a solid breakthrough on the 4-hour count, on the 200 MA. So let's see if wave 3 can do that. We've got wave 1 down, we've got ABC up in wave 2. We did extend quite a lot above the upper channel line. I was looking for like somewhere around a 50% retracement. So why won't my mouse work? It won't, just doesn't want to. I was looking for a 50% retracement about 41.30 and then a decline, but we pushed out again, so we just topped out, it seems, below the 78.6 retracement on wave 1. We still have 3 waves up, and within wave C we do have a solid 5-wave pattern, so it looks like a completed wave C of 2, and we'll see if a turn down into wave 1 of 3 can come our way today, hopefully today. I would like to see more or less a full retracement of this wave C rally to begin wave 1, and that's what I'll be looking out for in the next few days. Okay, let's move on. Crude oil, me old buddy old pal. Now it looks like we have, I'm going to label this at 1 higher degree here in the 4-hour count, because it was quite an extended rally. I mean, we didn't meet the previous, let's say, the size of the previous internal labels in green here. So that's what I'm working at. This label in green is the level the degree that I'm working with there on the 4-hour count. But it does match the sizes of the previous, let's say back in early on this year, the previous internal wave structure had similar sizes. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that we have. You can see on the hourly count here, I've got 1 lower degree working, same wave count, but it's just 1 lower degree. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that we are actually working in wave B in blue right now. So ABC up in green to complete wave B in blue. Now on the hourly count, I'm just looking at wave A up so far. So yeah, it's kind of 2 sides of the same coin, but the hourly count will be at 1 lower degree. So we have wave A up done, 3 waves down in wave B. Did have a kind of a spanner in the works this week, but it seems to have cleared up right now. We have we came down in 3 waves, we tagged the lower line, we broke 62% retracement, and we rallied reasonably well out of that low. So I've been looking for a C wave rally. That seems to be underway right now. It could be wave 1 done, maybe wave 1 and wave 2 underway. If we get an acceleration out above 62.50, let's say, that will confirm wave 3 of C. And that's what I'll be looking for this week. So all the last couple of weeks has been an extended correction to the downside in wave B, and we seem to be confirming a rally now into wave C underway. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour count in dollar yen. Sorry, S&P. The S&P did not break to a new high, so we've held the previous high. So the previous wave count from last week is actually holding, which is good. The extended rally that happened in wave 5 green could be coming to an end now. I'm kind of hoping it is, to be brutally honest. We have an internal pattern complete in wave 5 blue. We have an internal pattern complete in wave 5 in green. And we have reasonable and extended rally in wave 5 blue complete. You can see the previous wave 3 top there at 60. What did that come in at? 61.50, let's say. So let's see if we can get a breakdown below that. First of all, we got to break these channels. They haven't broken in months. All over summer, this channel has held the rally, so we need a breakdown out of that. At the moment, on the 4-hour count, which is quite interesting, this week, to complete the week, we have a slice down through the 200 MA, which I find pretty interesting. That happened previously in the wave C of 4. It happened previously in wave 1. So, dare I say, this could be the beginning of wave 3 down. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can extend this decline today, push below the lower channel line, and maybe push below 6,500 at that previous 4th wave low. That would be a great start in wave 3. But we'll see whether it happens or not. How would you say, slightly emboldened by the fact that the S&P did not break to a new high. Now that doesn't mean it won't happen. Who knows? God only knows whether the impetus to actually push this market out even higher still exists within the pocketbook of, I don't know, are they Robinhood futures traders buying options with borrowed money on triple credit cards? Possibly. I know one person who doesn't believe this rally. Well, that's apart from me. Is I'm going to put myself in a good boat here. Warren Buffett. I think have they completed a full asset switch to cash? Have they just cashed out completely? I think I read something about that this week. At new all-time highs. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a little bit of a signal that maybe some people should take in glean some information from. But anyway, at this point, it looks like on the short-term chart, anyway, there is the open question whether wave 3 down is underway. Yesterday's action surely points that way, but we'll see whether we follow through today. Okay, silver. We threatened a very close call with a new high yesterday, and we're still not out of the woods, but we didn't break to a new high, so we've got wave 1 and 2 still in play, and the rally into the extended decline, into wave 3 must come sooner rather than at some time. I'm liking the fact that gold didn't follow it. We peaked yesterday in wave 5, you see, just below the previous high, so at the moment it seems to have rejected it. Let's see if we get a follow through to the downside. I don't like the idea that we went so high. I was looking somewhere between, around that 62% retracement, and we broke right above that, $51 somewhere. That did fill the channel. It looked nice, and then we just pushed. Someone just caught the bull by the horns and just ran to try and break that new high again. So far it's failed. Let's see whether we turn solidly down into a third wave. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see whether it happens or not. Like I said, I can't tell the future in the markets. I try. I always work with the patterns that are available to us, and to a large extent, it's been quite, reasonably successful. You can see the markets that are less tainted with euphoria, they're the markets that seem to be working better within the patterns right now. So crude oil is not tainted with euphoria. The stock market is completely and utterly euphoric. The FX market is working quite well within the patterns. Dollar FX markets, anyway, working really, really quite well within the patterns. The precious metal markets, gold and silver, have been tainted by that euphoric hand, or else someone's pushing the market around. It's quite a small market in general, you know. Someone could be pushing it around. We'll see. That someone will dump out eventually. And don't tell me that people don't push markets around. I mean, people were done for securities. Wasn't it? Was it Credit Suisse a few years ago? Were done for pushing the gold market around. Now, it happens. Let's see if fear takes hold, then the patterns will work exceptionally well. Now, I can't tell the future in general, but I can tell everybody. I can tell one part of your future. That is, we will all shuffle off this mortal coil. Nobody is good enough to face God. No one is good. From the first man that was ever created, he was not good enough to face God on his own merit. You will notice, I don't know, have you ever read the story of Adam and Eve, but you'll notice that after they sinned, first of all, it was Eve who sinned first. But that was not the sin that broke humanity. The sin that broke humanity was the perfect man created by God, the perfect man, when he sinned, that tainted the line of humanity. That created the sin, the fallen human edifice, this human tent that we live in. Adam's sin created that fallen human tent that we live in. This body that will die, Adam created that through his sin. Eve didn't create it through her sin. She didn't help the matter, but she didn't do it. And the reason all humanity is tainted by that is because humanity extends through the male line. There is no furthering of humanity without the male. So the male is the progenitor of life. And by the way, that's why God refers to himself in the masculine in the scriptures. It's because God is the progenitor of life originally. So God takes a masculine identification. He's not a man. God is spirit. Jesus is a man. God and man. So if one man decided to destroy the line of humanity, then one man has to come and heal the line of humanity. And you will notice that the ancient Semitic peoples used to, God instituted through Moses the circumcision of the boy on the 8th day. And the reason God instituted this is because it's a picture of what was going to happen to break the line of sin. There was coming the promised one who was going to cut off the line of sin in his actions. And that circumcision was the, let's say, a physical embodiment, a picture created by God of what was coming. A sacrifice that will cut off the line of sin because the male is the progenitor of the line of sin. And then that man came, the God-man, Jesus. God in the flesh came down, lived the perfect life, gave himself on the cross to cut off the line of sin. And on the cross he said, "It is finished." And he gave up his spirit. It is finished, meaning the line of sin has been cut off. And because we all have free will, we can either accept this or reject it. How do we appropriate this payment of sin to our lives? Well, you have to accept the Messiah. You have to believe that he did that for you. He did it for everyone, so that everyone could be made whole and back in right relationship with God again. This world is still fallen, but you can be right with God. There's only one way to do that. That's through Jesus Christ. To admit you're a sinner, because you'll never do it unless you admit you're a sinner, and believe that Jesus paid for your sin on the cross, and then confess that he is your God. Call upon him for salvation. And like Ray Comfort says, you'll never do that if you think you're a good person. Well, we're not good people. I'm reminded every day that I'm not a good person. Man, I get so angry with things and people and places and occurrences and the general state of life and my life itself. Just look at the world around us, man. It's run by degenerate people. Absolute degenerates. Right at the top of power. You know who I'm talking about. These people. The bankers, the power brokers, the politicians, the leaders, the presidents, the princes that all hung around with Epstein. The developers, the Trumps that all hung around with Epstein. Why were they all there? They wanted to destroy innocence to gain power in this world. And in the demonic world, you gain power by destroying innocence. So that's what they did. They gained power in this world. But they have no power in the next world. They will pay for their sins eternally. It's a horrible reality. So I would just present that to you. Give that to you. And you do with it what you will. All right. If you like nightly Elliott wave analysis, check out bullwaves.org. Until then, until tonight for the members, and until whenever next week for you in YouTube land, I'll see you then. God bless. Bye-bye.